What is going on, guys? Pomzone87 here, and I'm back finally with an actual race review for this league. I've already done 2 videos on it now. It is the RRR 2010 Classic Car League. A little bit of background info. I'm not trying to compile the excuses, but I suppose this is. I did just have a few exams a week. Just my last one today, so I'm quite tired. I had an exam Wednesday and Thursday morning as well. You know, good times, uni life, GG. I did, however, fit in a little bit of time for practice. I did like half a 50% race, and the pace felt pretty good, and I felt pretty good on these cars right now, not gonna lie. So qualifying now, it's basically a one-lap shooter because it was raining the entire session. I'm still a bit damp for this lap. This lap has been pretty decent so far, going purple the first 2 sectors, even though everyone else is improving as well. And it's been pretty clean, but unfortunately, we do that, which I was pretty annoyed at myself there. I just threw away the lap with one stupid error. Although to be fair, I could have just invalidated on the final corner, so it may have happened anyway. But with that lap time, I won 10.3, I think. I would have gone P2, because I ran on a penalty for some reason. So it's slightly annoying, but just the way it is. So now start P13. Obviously you get no points of qualifying, so it's all good. Michi, by the way, actually had like a glitch. He fell through the map or something in qualifying. Pretty bizarre. Go watch his video because it's pretty wild. But light side, away we go. And we actually get a pretty decent start, jumping top banter, and I think that was Withers off the line. But unfortunately we have nowhere to go because Steve Bingham, who's changed his name to Forest Elbow, is going really slow through turn 1, and that's just basically undone all our progress. We're now back down to P14, sadly. So let's see if we can make a better time of it through turn 2. Don't want to hit the back of anyone, it is way too early to get damage. Like someone has done that already though. I think that was Max Mate in his McLaren in the back of Mince Pie, I think it was. And now it looks like Bingham's just blocked us on the exit again. So wherever we're deciding to go wherever Bingham's going for some reason this time. And it's not really working out for our start, as we're now down into P14. Not the best launch. I think Hugo on the flip side went from like P20 to P, well, I think to the point or something. We're looking for a cheeky move at the inside of Bingham there, but no real way to get past. That's not a dive bombing corner. So I was just trying to get into it. Main for this race is not to get penalties. I was trying to do the Penske strat of not do any penalties or warnings, so just try and keep it nice and clean, keep it within the track limits. I knew I had the pace. Like to at least get well into the point if I kept it clean. So we're having a pretty good run on Forest Elbow and Severance Pie. We're looking for the inside line, but unfortunately, yeah, that happened. Turn 1, it really isn't that good of a place to sort of try and outbrake someone. It's just too tight of a corner. It's just too quick of a corner, so it's not like a hairpin. I'm not sure if Max May got caught in that, by the way. He was the same person who got damaged on lap 1. So I'm not sure what's happening with him, but yeah, that was my fault on Forest over there. Michi, I don't know what's happening with Michi either, but he's also got damages, and so as I overtake Max May and the virtual safety car. Yeah, the safety car's been really weird lately. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I just keep overtaking people keep overtaking me. As you're about to see right here, we're still under virtual safety car, and Max May's just dived on me inside. So, yeah. I don't know what's going on with that, but it just seems to be really glitched. So my race has gone complete, well, it's just been like China really, except this has been my own doing, because that turn 1 incident was my own fault. I shouldn't have gone for that move. Bit too ambitious trying to go 3 wide up there. I was trying to use the McLaren OP straight line speed, because once again the McLaren is OP around here apparently. And as you're about to see, actually, especially compared to the Red Bulls, I was pretty bloody quick in a straight line. Default setup, as I mentioned, I think last time. So no one has an advantage in straight line speed setup wise, and unfortunately according to the pit lane, Michi turns out was my teammate. So I've been blocked in the pit lane as well, and I'm going to be nearly a lap down by the time I come out of the pits on lap 2. So things really haven't gone my way so far this race. As you're about to see though, things do look up, and we do make a bit of a resurgence, as you might see from this title. I don't know, but come back on track now. So with that practice I did, I discovered that tyre wear wasn't really that bad around this track, as we now get a actual full safety car thanks to Edge bottling, I think it was. So I thought, now, why don't I come into the pit lane, considering I'm now last? And I knew we would catch up to the safety car train. If anything, we actually probably delayed it a bit because we were still trying to catch up at the end of this lap, I believe. But we did actually catch up, and it's now safety car restart. So we're still in last place behind Mitchie and Withers, who are going side by side in turn 1. Mitchie gets the inside line. But everyone else still has to stop apart from myself, Mitchie, and I think Maxmate was the other person. Whereas I'm planning to not stop before the end of the race, as I knew tyre wear wasn't that bad. You can get away with the full race on one set of tyres. So that's what exactly I was planning to do, as I got up the inside and Withers there. And as you can see, I see moves are rich, but straight line speed in the McLaren really quite good compared to the Red Bull. Now Mitch is going side by side with Panish, as they're both trying to fight away through the field. They're both pretty quick in these cars, and looks like their battling has helped me out. As I got up the inside into the penultimate corner, we back out the steering to avoid corner cutting, but there's a 2-1 overtake, and this time, unlike the last time I tried it, actually kind of pulls out without any contact or anyone spinning, including myself. Now on lap 13, we're ahead of Mitchie, trying to fight away through the field, and I've got Broken Reptile ahead of us, as we're going to look for the inside line down into turn 4, a little bit of a dive bomb, but we make it stick, keep on the track, and unfortunately looking behind, he has unfortunately spun out. Now I'm not sure, I mean, I feel like I just went for a dive, I tried to brake as late as possible and try and keep on the road, as I do a very lazy corner cut there. So, I mean, apologies to Broken Reptile, but really, I don't know, maybe he should have backed out of it, but yeah, tough call. Virtual safety car actually helped everyone out, as they were able to pit under the virtual safety car, and obviously I wasn't planning to pit again, so everyone got a free pit stop. They're still going to be behind us, but they're not going to be too far behind us, the likes of Ryan, Charlie, quite a few of us pitted as well. Now I got Dill and VSR Roscoe Arm go by side by side. Unfortunately, I was in the party with Roscoe and able to warn him that he was lagging, as you saw there. He was jumping around all over the place, so he let me have the inside line for this corner and let me get ahead there. So that's very nice of him. Now next on the road, I've got X Still, who is in a Red Bull, so probably quite slow in a straight line. Let's see if we can get past him. So obviously, as I said, my goal for this race is to not get any penalties, and so far, as of right now, I have 2 warnings, so I'm trying not to get a third if possible. And now look at the inside line into turn 1, very awkward corner to overtake. As you can see, I tried my best to leave room, but really I just went too deep and kind of forced X Still out wide. He defended the inside line now into the hairpin. And we're going to look around the outside line. Can we make it stick? He's left the room. I've left the room. We're still going side by side on the exit. Let's see if we can use McLaren straight line speed to pull ahead. We are pulling slightly ahead, but really he's still got the inside line. And we're going to try and hold it round the outside into turn 4. But unfortunately we run on the curb, get a pretty poor exit, and that's still back in front. All this battling has allowed Mitchie to catch up behind as well. And now, once again, we get a very nice run out of the final corner, and we got the slipstream and got on the inside of X Still into turn 1. We were ahead this time. Unfortunately, unlike last time, I actually completely outbraked myself and have to back out to avoid getting a track extension warning, and therefore X Still gets position. Mitchie's looking quite threatening behind, but we have the straight line speed again, and we're looking for the inside line for the hairpin this time. A little bit of a dive bomb, a tiny bit of contact, but not too bad. We're side by side on the exit, and this time I have the inside line for the run down into turn 4. No DRS or ERS in these cars, obviously, just rich mix. So we're going to be side by side into the corner again, and once again I run a little bit wide. He runs into the curb, and I get the position, and Mitchie actually also gets past with that overtake. So we're making a bit of a resurgence, Mitchie and I, back through this field. Savoury Mince Pie also pits, as well as I think a few other people. So we'll be moving into a net P3. But as you can see in the mini-map, there is quite a few people behind us. A few seconds behind Mitchie, there is quite a bit of a train. But at this point, no one was really catching us, as Deathbro in second place bottles it. So that's unfortunate for him. That leaves Maxmate a few seconds in the lead. I couldn't remember at this point if he were actually pitted or not. I thought he was going to pit, but then he didn't, so I started to close the gap a little bit. The gap is now about 3-4 seconds. I checked in the with Jeff, and I believe he had 1 time penalty. Now Top Banter is the next guy behind, as I make a bit of an error there trying to save the car. Mitchy's fallen away at this point. I believe he had fuel issues. I was saving my fuel quite well-ish. But yeah, fuel was definitely burning a lot around this track, and by this point I also had to save quite a bit. And now we've got Top Banter, who's actually really quick around this track, really quick in these cars as well. Look at me inside line at turn 4, but he swerves across us, under braking, and gives me a time penalty as I make another save on the exit turn 4 there. So I was trying really hard to avoid getting any warnings, and unfortunately Toppy B came across us a bit under braking, forced us onto the curb. We got a warning, and unfortunately, I mean, it's P3, that's still a really good result, but Jared now gets the win because he got no penalties. Top Banter finishes ahead of us because he had more penalties than me, but I got a penalty. Basically, what I'm trying to do now is I sent it to the stewards, and I'm trying to get that penalty removed. I gotta admit, after the race, I was pretty angry, pretty annoyed, and kind of fired that off a bit in the group chat, so I apologise for that. But I mean, I didn't get any other warnings for the rest of the race, so I still feel like that penalty should be removed. However, it turns out Max May also got a penalty, which he feels should be removed, I think a 5-second penalty. So I believe if we both get them removed, he would be first and I would be second, and I think Jared third. But we're not sure on that, we're waiting for the steward inquiries. But as you can see, look in the standings, either way without the penalty removal, we're actually now joint second in the standings, alongside New Zealand Ryan, who had a bit of a bad race unfortunately, with Jared about 30 points ahead. So yeah, I mean, that's still really good. That's the highest I've been in the standings in any sort of league for a while, so I'll take that. So it's been a pretty good start to the season so far. This race was a bit messy, bit of a recovery drive, but we got back there in the end and showed our pace a bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed. The next race will be Canada, I think, so another McLaren OP straight line speed track, and I'll see you guys there. So thank you for watching. Palms up.